Michael Shikha Niketan Higher Secondary Government-sponsored co-ed English medium school has taken an excellent initiative of teaching and make our students learn day-to-day lessons through audio and video in our YouTube channel. Teachers of all the subjects are working hard to enhance these online classes in the midst of this pandemic situation. It is a request to all the teachers, students and guardians to click the bell icon and subscribe our channel.
Students, today I will just continue the chapter of the elasticity of demand. Last day I have shown you how many kinds of elasticities of demand were there. So today I will start with the factors which are affecting the elasticity of demand. So the first factor you can see, the availability of substitutes. So if a commodity is having more number of substitutes, then that commodity will have an elastic demand, and if a particular commodity is having less number of substitutes, then that commodity will have inelastic demand, because no matter how much the price rise or fall does not matter, people will have to purchase that commodity, so that kind of commodity will have an inelastic demand. So the first factor is the availability of substitutes. So number of substitutes available of a commodity depend on the elasticity of the demand. Next is nature of the commodity. Now elasticity of demand also depend on the nature of the commodity, that is what kind of commodities are there. So there are necessary commodities, there are luxurious commodities, and there are also comfortable, there are certain goods of comfortability. Now for necessary goods the demand is always inelastic, because people have to purchase those kind of goods no matter how much the price of those goods rise or fall. So in that case, in case of necessary goods, we are having inelastic demand. Next, in case of luxury goods or goods of comfortability, we are having elastic demand, because people can switch over to some other goods if the price of those goods rises, because that kind of goods is not of a necessary, which is not a necessary good. So that kind of good, in case of those type of commodities, we are having elastic demand. Next factor is the proportion of income spent on the commodity. If smaller proportion of income is spent on a particular commodity, then that kind of goods always have inelastic demand, and if larger proportion of income is spent on a particular commodity, then that kind of goods are having elastic demand. So we are having inelastic demand in case of necessary goods like salt, matchbox, soap, because a smaller proportion of income is spent on those type of commodities. So smaller proportion of income is spent on those type of commodities, that kind of commodities are having inelastic demand, and larger proportion of income is spent on some luxury goods and goods of comfortability, so that kind of goods are having elastic demand. Next is time factor. So as the time increases, in the short run we are having inelastic demand, but in the long run we are having elastic demand. So time factor is another factor which do affect the elasticity of demand. In the short period, no such close substitutes are available of a commodity, but in the long period there are some chances of the availability of substitutes. So we can say that in the long run the elasticity of demand is elastic, and in the short run we are having inelastic demand. Next factor is price range. So demand for a commodity. So the demand for a commodity is inelastic at a very high and a very low price range, and it is elastic at a very moderate price range. Next is durability of the commodity. Demand for the durable goods are having an inelastic demand, and demand for non-durable goods are having elastic demand. Next factor is alternative uses of the commodity. So if a commodity can be used to various alternative purposes, then that commodity is having elastic demand, and if the commodity cannot be put to various alternative purposes, then that commodity is having an inelastic demand, like electricity, salt, matchbox, they are having an inelastic demand. Next is consumers' income. So as the consumers' income increases, or you can say changes, the quantity demanded of a particular commodity also changes, so elasticity of demand also changes. So due to a change in consumers' income, elasticity of demand also changes. So these are the factors which do affect the elasticities of demand. So I will now show you how to derive the formula of price elasticity of demand. So here I have derived the formula of price elasticity of demand. Now the price elasticity of demand has been denoted by the symbol EP, E subscript P. It has been, the formula is percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price. Now this percentage change, what is this percentage change in quantity demanded? This percentage change in quantity demanded has been written as change in quantity demanded divided by initial quantity into 100. And this percentage change in price has been written as change in price divided by initial price into 100, and this 100 I have taken in common and I have written it over here. So I think you have understand this part, that how I have derived this percentage change in quantity demanded and percentage change in price. Now this change in quantity demanded I have written it as del Q, and this initial quantity I have written it as Q, and change in price I have written is as del P, and initial price I have written it as P, and into 100, this 100 I am just putting it in this numerator part as well as in the denominator part, and this 100 and 100 is cancelling out, and what I am getting, this del Q divided by del Q, which I have written it over here, and del P divided by P, which I have written it over here. Now after this simplification, what I am getting, del Q by Q into P by del P. Now I am just bringing all this del into one side, that is del Q divided by del P. I am just putting it in the left hand side, and in the right hand side I am just putting into P by this Q. So the formula of the price elasticity of demand, that is EP, I have got as del Q divided by del P into P by Q. Now EP refers to price elasticity of demand, Q is initial quantity, P is initial price, del Q is change in quantity, and del P is change in price. In economics, the change is always referred to as, the symbol is referred to by the symbol del. I think this part is clear to you. In order to explain this price elasticity of demand, I have taken one problem. So I am just reading out the problem. Suppose the price of a commodity falls from rupees 5 to rupees 4, and the quantity demanded increases from 100 to 150 units. So we all know that whenever the price falls, the quantity demanded increases according to the law of demand. So the initial quantity was 100 units, and the initial price was rupees 5. So change in quantity demanded is 150 minus 100, that is new quantity minus the initial quantity, that is 150 minus 100, we are getting the change in quantity, that is del Q as 50 units. And what is the change in price, del P? We are getting the initial price minus the new price, that is 5 minus 4, we are getting as rupees 1, which is the change in price. Now we are just putting it into this formula, that is EP is equal to del Q by del P into P by Q. Now del Q, what is del Q is 50 units and del P is 1. The initial price rupees 5, and what is the initial quantity, 100 units. So after just solving, we are getting 2.5 as our answer. So I think that the problem of price elasticity of demand has been clear to you. Next one is income elasticity of demand. I have derived the formula of income elasticity of demand. Now what is this income elasticity of demand? It is the percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in income. So how the percentage change in income is affecting the quantity demanded of a commodity is mainly known as income elasticity of demand. It has been denoted by the symbol EY. So in economics, income is always referred to the by the letter Y. So EY is representing the income elasticity of demand. Now percentage change in quantity demanded has been denoted by del Q. Del Q refers to the change in quantity, Q refers to initial quantity, del Y refers to change in income, Y refers to initial income, and EY is the income elasticity of demand. So del Q is the change in quantity divided by initial quantity, and del y is the change in income, and y refers to income, initial income. So I have just written it over here, del q divided by q divided by del y by y. Now after simplifying, we are getting del q by q into y by del y. Now I am just bringing the del part in the left hand side, that is del q divided by del y into y by q, and this is the formula of income elasticity of demand EY. Now here I have shown one graph. In the left hand side I have taken income, and in the right hand side I have taken the quantity demanded. So when income is rupees 450, quantity demanded is 20 units. When the income is rising from 450 to 500, the quantity demanded is also rising from 20 to 25 units. And when the income is further rising from 500 to 550, the quantity demanded is also rising further. So here you can see that when the income is rising, the quantity demanded is also rising. So here this graph I have plotted that when income is rising, the quantity demanded is also rising. So it is shown by a positively sloped demand curve. And if the opposite can also happen, that when income is rising, the quantity demanded is falling. So it will be shown by a negatively sloped demand curve like this. When income is rising, the quantity demanded is falling. So it will be shown by a negatively sloped demand curve. I think this part is clear to you, the income elasticity of demand. Next is cross elasticity of demand. It has been represented by the symbol EXY. XY are the two commodities, commodity X and commodity Y. Now the formula of cross elasticity of demand has been denoted as percentage change in quantity demanded of commodity X divided by percentage change in price of commodity Y. So how the percentage change in price of commodity Y is affecting the quantity demanded of commodity X. So that is known as cross elasticity of demand. So the formula of cross elasticity of demand has been denoted by del Qx divided by Qx divided by del Py by Py, and it has been written as del Qx by Qx divided by del Py by Py. Now what are the Qx and Py? Qx is the initial quantity demanded of commodity X, and del Qx is the change in quantity demanded of commodity X. Py is the initial price of commodity Y, and del Py is the change in price of commodity Y. So after the simplification, we are getting that del Qx divided by Qx into Py by del Py. We are bringing the del into one side, that is del Qx divided by del Py into Py by Qx. So this is the formula of cross price elasticity of demand. So here I have taken two diagrams. So in the first diagram you can see in the vertical axis, in this vertical axis I have taken price of petrol, and in the horizontal axis I have taken the quantity of cars. So you can see that when the price of petrol is falling from 40 to 20 rupees, the demand for car is also rising from 10 to 30 units, and we are having a negatively sloped demand curve. The demand curve is negatively sloped. So this is the case of, and this is the case of complementary goods. This is mainly the case of complementary goods. So whenever the price of petrol is falling, the quantity of cars is rising. In this case we are having a negatively sloped demand curve, because both the petrol and car are complementary goods. So due to a fall in price of petrol, the quantity demanded of the cars is also rising, since it is a complementary goods. So this is the effect of cross elasticity of demand. You can see that the price of one commodity is affecting the quantity demanded of the other commodity. So cross price elasticity of demand is mainly affected during the case of, you can see mainly the cross price elasticity of demand in case of complementary goods as well as substitute goods. So in case of substitute goods, we can see that the demand curve is positively sloped. A positively sloped demand curve, we have taken the two substitute goods, that is coffee and tea. So, due to a rise in price of coffee, the demand for tea is also increasing. So, because coffee and tea are substitute goods, in this case we are having substitute goods. Substitute goods are those type of goods which can be used in place of one another. So, due to a rise in price of coffee, the demand for tea is also rising. In this case, we are having a positively sloped demand curve. So, I think that the cross price elasticity of demand is clear to you. We will learn how to measure the point elasticity of demand. So, here I have drawn one linear demand curve AB, and I have plotted 2 points, that is point R and point K in this demand curve, and in the vertical axis I have measured price, and in the horizontal axis I have measured quantity. Now, what will be the price elasticity of demand? The price elasticity of demand will be measured by the lower segment of the demand curve divided by the upper segment of the demand curve. Suppose we want to measure the price elasticity of demand at point R. So, how will you measure EP at point R? So, here is the point R. So, I have already told you that lower segment divided by the upper segment. So, at point R, what is the lower segment? RB is the lower segment of the demand curve and RA is the upper segment of the demand curve. Now, EP at point R will be equal to RB, that is this RB divided by RA. So, here you can see the portion of RB is greater than portion of RA. So, here EP will be greater than 1 because RB is greater than RA. So, you can see that portion of the RB is greater than RA. So, EP will be, that is the price elasticity of demand will be greater than 1. Next, I will show you how to measure the point elasticity at different points on the demand curve. So, here I have drawn another demand curve AB and I have taken several points on the same demand curve. I have drawn one linear demand curve. So, first I will measure the price elasticity of demand at point A. So, as you already know that how to measure the price elasticity of demand, that is line segment below A divided by line segment above A. Line segment below A, what is the line segment below A? Line segment below A is this portion, that is AB. This AB portion is the line segment below A. So, that is why in the numerator part I have written AB and line segment above A. You can see that there is no line segment above A. So, here line segment above A we have to write 0. So, AB divided by 0, something divided by 0 is always equal to infinity. So, we are getting at point A the price elasticity of demand is equal to infinity. So, we are having a perfectly elastic demand at this point A. Next, we will measure the price elasticity of demand at point E. So, here point E you can see the line segment below E is BE and line segment above E is BA. So, EA, line segment above A is EA. So, at point E, BE divided by EA, that is lower segment divided by this upper segment. So, here you can see that the lower segment is larger than the upper segment, that is BA is larger than EA, and that is why we are having the elasticity of demand greater than 1. So, in this case we are having an elastic demand. Next, we will measure the price elasticity of demand at point D. So, here you can see the point D is BD divided by DA. BD divided by DA, that is line segment below D divided by line segment above A, that is BD divided by DA. Here you can see that D is the midpoint of the demand curve. So, BD is equal to DA. So, that is why EP is equal to 1 and we are having an unitary elastic demand. Next, we will measure the price elasticity of demand at point C. So, at point C you can see that the lower segment, that is CB, is smaller than the upper segment, that is CA. So, this CB or BC divided by CA, since this lower segment is smaller than the upper segment, so we are having an elasticity of demand which is less than 1. In this case, we are having an inelastic demand. Next, we will measure the price elasticity of demand at this point B. So, at this point B, you can see that there is no lower segment, but the upper segment is denoted by AB. So, the lower segment will be 0 and the upper segment is AB. So, 0 divided by AB is equal to 0 and that is, in this case, we are having perfectly inelastic demand. I think that how to measure. So, in this case, I have shown you how to measure the point elasticity of demand, and I think that this portion is clear to you. I will show you how to measure this point elasticity of demand on a non-linear demand curve. Here you can see that the demand curve dt is a non-linear one, and in this case I have to measure the point elasticity of demand at point R. So, for that the method is very simple. For that, what you have to do, you just need to draw a tangent which will be touching this demand curve dd. So, the tangent is touching the point R. So, in this way you have to calculate the point elasticity of demand by the same method, that is, at EP at R will be lower line segment divided by the upper line segment. So, EP at point R will be this lower line segment BR divided by this upper line segment RA, that is BR divided by RA, and you can see that this is the midpoint of the line. So, it will be equal to 1. BR divided by RA will be equal to 1, and equal to 1 mainly indicates unitary elastic demand. So, in this way I have completed how to measure the point elasticity of demand. I will show you how to measure the arc elasticity of demand. So, here I have taken one non-linear demand curve. You can see that in this non-linear demand curve, point A and point B has been given. So, two prices are given, 6 and 2, and two quantities are given, 2 and 4, and you have to measure the elasticity of demand in this point A, from point A to point B, that is in this arc. You have to measure the elasticity of demand, that what is the elasticity of demand prevailing in this arc. Now, you can see that when the price is falling from rupees 6 to rupees 2, the quantity demanded is also increasing from 2 units to 4 units. Now, what is the formula of this price elasticity of demand? The price elasticity of demand in the arc method has been given as del Q divided by del P into P1 plus P2 divided by Q1 plus Q2. So, here you can see that two prices were given and two quantities are given. So, which quantities to take, which quantities I can take, and which price I can take. In order to avoid this inconvenience that which price and which quantity we can take, we have taken the average of the two prices and the average of the two quantities. Basically, the formula is like this: del Q by del P into P1 plus P2 divided by 2 by Q1 plus Q2 divided by 2. This 2 and 2 is cancelling out, that is, we are taking the average of both the prices and the average of both the quantities in order to avoid the inconvenience of the method. So, del Q is the change in quantity, del P is the change in price, P1 plus P2 is the initial price plus new price, and Q1 plus Q2 is the initial quantity plus new quantity. Here elasticity of demand has been denoted by ED. So, what is the formula of ED? Del Q by del P into P1 plus P2, that is initial price plus new price divided by initial quantity plus new quantity, that is Q1 plus Q2. Now, initially the quantity was 2 and it has been risen from 2 to 4. When the price was falling from 6 to 2 rupees, the quantity demanded is also increasing from 2 units to 4 units. So, change in quantity is 2 minus 4 and change in price is 6 minus 2. So, we are getting as minus 2 by 4, and P1 plus P2 is 6 plus 2, it is 8, and Q1 plus Q2 is 2 plus 4, which is 6. So, in this way we are getting minus 2 by 3 as our answer. Since in case of elasticities of demand, we have to take the absolute values in order to measure the elasticities of demand. So, we have taken the mod values, that is, we have eliminated the minus sign, we have taken only 2 by 3, which is less than 1. Hence, we can say that the demand which is the type of demand which is prevailing in this arc area is relatively inelastic demand. So, in this way I have shown you how to measure the elasticities of demand. In this way I have completed the whole chapter. I request all of you to just follow the book. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Leave a like and comment. Subscribe. And do share the video among your friends.